Shalom Aleichem. So Google decided that the definition of a Jew is someone who bargains in a miserly and petty way. Well, after they wrote such a thing, they got flagged by many and they removed it with a post of apology. But we need to realize, why is it that the Goyim look at us in such a stigma for so many generations that a Jew is stingy, somebody who's miserly? Why is that? Why is this the way that the Goy looks at us? It's such a stereotype. And we need to learn something from our parasha. Yaakov Avinu tells his children that he's going to be buried in Eretz Canaan in the cave that is stuck for himself. What does it mean, stuck? Rashi says, הנה אנוכי מת בקרי אשר קריתי לי בארץ כנען, מלמד שנטל יעקב כל כסף וזהב שהביא מבית לבן ועשה קרי. He stacked up all his gold and money and put it in front of Esav and told him, טול בשביל חלקך במערה. Take this for your share in the cave. You see from here, says the Orchot Tzadikim, how generous Yaakov Avinu was. But on the other hand, we have other places that we see that Yaakov Avinu was very stingy. Yaakov Avinu, after he crosses the river with his family, he realizes he forgot a few barrels. He goes back to get those barrels. ויוותר יעקב לבדו, שכח פחים קטנים וחזר עליהם. מלמד שהצדיקים חביב עליהם ממונם יותר מגופם, says Rashi. Which means Yaakov Avinu, which was one of the wealthiest people in his time, goes back for a few barrels and crosses back the river. Why is that? We see from here that he's very stingy. Says the Orchot Tzadikim that you need to differentiate between spending. When one spends for spiritual things such as mitzvot, learning Torah, tuition for learning Torah for your children, one needs to spend as much of his ability. So much so that the Zohar says in Parashat Truma that if one bargains over a mitzvah, the shine of the light of the mitzvah doesn't shine on that mitzvah. A person needs to pay fully for this mitzvah. That's why the Arizal, when he went to buy mitzvot, he would give his wallet to the seller and tell him, take as much as you wish. That is when you buy something spiritual, as Yaakov Avinu went to buy a share in the Me'ara, which was a spiritual thing. But when you go to buy things that are not spiritual for yourself, or for your entertainment, you go into a restaurant, you go into a vacation, you're buying something for your own needs, over there you don't need to spend mindlessly. You don't need to spend without boundaries. You have to know, do I need to spend all that money? If not, don't spend extra. Spend whatever's needed. And that is something that is the chiluk, is the difference between a Jew and a Goy. Very, very fine difference that we see. The Goy looks at the world as the primary thing that he lives for. His entertainment, his enjoyment, everything is about that. And therefore, he wants to spend as much as he can on his enjoyment, on his entertainment, on the worldly things. As a Jew, on the other hand, spends more money on what's really important. That is the spiritual aspect of the world. Honoring Hashem, learning Torah, mitzvot. When it comes to other things, over there the Jew is more tight. Over there he's ready to bargain. And therefore, when a Goy looks at the Jew bargaining over things that are important for him, enjoyment of the world, entertainment, going to a restaurant, why not buying as much as I do? Why is it that you are looking at the menu and trying to see what is cheaper? Goy doesn't understand that. He looks at the Jew and he sees somebody who's stingy. That's where the stereotype could be coming from. We learn from that we obviously are being looked at by Goyim in such a negative light. But the truth is, that is because we look at the world in totally different eyeglasses, totally different way to view the world, and therefore a Goy sees the Jew in such a way, although the Jew really is much more elevated and spends his money in the right place. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom. שמי הרב שי תחן, ואני מקווה שנהניתם והחכמתם מהשיעור. אם יש לכם שאלה והלכה, פנו אלינו לבית ההוראה במספר 347-666-3467. זה מספר בניו יורק, ולכן תוכלו לשאול במספר של וואטסאפ, והרבנים של בית ההוראה, ואני בכללם, ננסה לענות לכם בהקדם. שבת שלום.